Hello and welcome to this video lesson. And in this video lesson, what we're going to look at is a question from Mania99. So please make a video on how to practice quants and what to do after completing the Funda books once. Those are the two questions: how to practice quant, and two, what to do after completing the Funda books once. I thought I'll keep the title slightly broad: how to prepare for CAT Quant. And I'm sure I will answer those two questions as well. I struggle with quants. I know that this is the question that I've been hearing for quite a number of years. I struggle too, and my struggle is slightly different. My struggle is with this, that you come with a different start level, which means some may be beginners, some may be advanced, and you also have a different target. Each one of you has got a different target. Some of you are looking at very high percentile, some of you are looking at just managing the clearing the cutoff, and then you have the total prep time is also very different. Some of you are working, therefore can spend 1 hour per day. Some of you are quit the job and are sitting at home and preparing for the CAT. Then you have a lot more time, and there are a lot of variables here. You may have a percentile target anywhere between 80th percentile to going up to 99th percentile, maybe even the 100th percentile. You have a total prep time which is very different. You may have just started preparing. You might have been preparing for, let's say, 12 months. You may start next month. I don't know. And then you have different start level as well. But we still have to make some inferences. And one of the things that we'll have to do is to make a prediction about a future. The CAT 2020 is going to happen in the month of November. We have no idea what the paper is actually going to be. But we cannot prepare like that, right? So we have to make certain reasonable prediction, and that has to be based on past observation. And here is one problem. I'm not an astrologer. Nobody is. We could get this wrong. But we still have to do some observation. The years that I'm going to look at is from 2015 to 2019. For this one reason, that from CAT 2015, you see that the number of questions in the quantitative section has been 34 and you are given 1 hour. And largely, the distribution of questions among various areas has been more or less the same. And, and if you look at the percentile score as a target, you see for a particular percentile, you need to get a particular score. And this is the data. You see that CAT 2017 was a test slightly easier than CAT 2018 and CAT 2019. We obviously therefore cannot make an absolute prediction about the level of difficulty of the paper or a score that is required to get the percentile in CAT 2020. But in general, if you're looking at the 90th percentile, you're looking at getting net 11 questions correct. Mind you, CAT has got 34 questions and each questions carry 3 marks. In CAT 2019, the 90th percentile score is 34. To get a score of 34, you should get about 11 to 12 questions net correct. If you're looking at the 95th percentile, you're looking at 15 questions net correct. If you're looking at 99th percentile, you're looking at 20 questions net correct. If you want to reach 99.5, 99.6, 99.7, you're looking at 25, 26, 27 questions net correct out of the total 34 questions. And some of you may be happy with the 80th percentile as well. That's net 8 questions correct. I don't know what your target is. I don't know you. You know yourself better than me. You keep a note of the number of questions that you need to achieve the percentile target that you have set for yourself. These are the 5 areas that we have seen in the CAT in the last 5 years. Arithmetic, all these chapters: percentages, averages, ratio, proportion, time split distance, time and work, mixtures. Algebra has got linear equations, quadratic equations, higher order equations, functions, inequalities, maxima, minima, sequence, series, logarithms. Geometry has got circles, triangles, quadrilaterals, polygons, coordinate geometry, mensuration. Numbers has got number properties, factors, multiple, HCF, LCM, repeating sequence, divisibility, remainder, modern maths, permutations, combination, probability, and set theory. Different books will have different way of representing these chapter. For example, some books may put coordinate geometry as a part of algebra. That doesn't matter. Actually, these are the chapters. And also, some books has profit and loss as a part of percentage. Some books have a profit and loss as a chapter separately. But by and large, these are the areas that we are looking at. So much to study. Yes, that is true. There are a load of things to study. But what we'll do is we'll make some inference based on this past data that we have. Let's see that if we can look at all the chapters and make some good inference based on the data that we have. If we look at the distribution of the various areas from CAT 2015 to 19, and that S1, S2 is slot 1, slot 2, this is what you see. What you see is that arithmetic as an area as a hot area, followed by algebra, then geometry, then numbers, then modern maths. A typical paper has got about 11 to 13 arithmetic questions. Algebra is about 10ish, geometry is about 6 to 7, numbers about 4 to 5, and modern maths is about 3 to 4 questions. And if I take the cumulative count, if I add the number of questions in each of these areas from 2015 till 2019, you see that arithmetic is 36%, algebra is 29%, geometry is 20%, and numbers in modern maths take care of the remaining 15% of the questions. Yay! I can skip permutations. I'm sure that is what is going through your mind as well. But wait, because don't we might jump into some flawed inferences. Remember, these are predictions. These are just what happened in the past. You, I, nobody knows what is going to come in the cat. The IMs might know, sorry, but the IMs have not told us what they're going to give in the particular paper. We'll figure that out once we take that particular test. So we could get this wrong. Number two is this. This is how we look at hot area. Like arithmetic is a hot area, algebra is a hot area, geometry is a hot area. There's another way to look at this. And probably a better way to look at this is areas has got a lot of these chapters. What about chapters? If I list down all those 30 chapters and count the number of questions that CAT has asked from 2015 till 2019, add all that up and let's look at that data. And this is what you see. Averages and mixtures, percentages and ratio, very hot. Time speed distance, hot. Sequence and series, logarithms, polygons, triangles, time and work, higher order equations, permutations combination, number properties, divisibility and remainders, simple interest, compound interest, and inequalities. 75% of the question from CAT 2015 till CAT 2019 is from these 14 chapters, and there is your permutations combination. Just don't just say that I'm going to leave out permutations combinations. Yeah, but only 14 chapters. Ah, there's one more thing. There's one more element. That is the level of difficulty of these questions. Some are easy, some will be normal difficulty, some are extremely difficult. Imagine this. This is CAT 2019 slot 2 paper. Incidentally, that paper did not have any permutation combination. So good for you. But if you look at certain questions, I'll put questions in terms of easy, medium, and hard. And let's say you decided that I'm not going to look at algebra. If you're not going to look at algebra, what is going to happen is that you will not going to look at the easy questions from algebra, the medium question from algebra, and also the hard question from algebra. But more importantly, you'll miss out on those easy questions from algebra, and that leaves you with 11 easy questions only. Now, you might say that I'm going to be a hero of arithmetic. I will ensure that I'll solve the easy question of arithmetic. I'll solve the medium question of arithmetic. I'll solve the hard question of arithmetic. I'll be awesome in arithmetic. That's a good thing that you can do. If you're anyway doing that, why not at least be reasonably good at other areas as well? The point here is that we can look at all those data from the past data and make some inferences. But I cannot look at this data to arrive at a conclusion in terms of which all topics I want to leave. That is a bad way of looking at it because we never know what is going to come in the future. We can have a rough idea in terms of what that paper was asking. We'll get some inferences saying that logarithms is something that CAT has been asking. So it is good idea to study logarithm. It will be stupid not to study logarithm. It will be stupid not to study time, speed, and distance. It will be stupid not to study averages and mixtures because we know for a fact that those kind of questions have come in the past and that those are hot topics or hot chapters. But that does not mean that those are the only thing that I'm going to study. Remember again that this is a predictive inference. Because we are doing predictive inference, we could get this wrong. And this is my advice to you. And you be in control. Don't blindly follow advice. Don't blindly follow anybody's advice, not even mine. People may come and tell you that I'm a complete authority in this particular subject. I will tell you these are the five things that you should do. I will tell you these are the questions. These are must do questions. How do you know these are must do questions? Who knows? Who are you? Are you the one setting the paper? So you be smart. The good thing that you could do, or one of the things that you can actually do, is actually go back and look at the analysis of the previous CAT paper and make your own judgment as well. So now what? You might ask. So there are more GAN coming. There are more GAN. Let's look at a plan of action. The starting point for you is to understand your level. Now, intuitively, I know that I'm weak in maths, but maths is a broad area. Let's break it down. Arithmetic, algebra, geometry, modern maths. Okay, intuitively, you might say that I'm weak in an area called algebra. But algebra also has a lot of different chapters, right? It has got linear equations, quadratic equations. You should be okay with linear equations at least. So the first thing that you should do, I believe, is to create a log book. I'm not asking you to create a logarithm book. That's not what I'm doing. This is not that log. I'm just a detail book. The first thing that you do is list down all the chapters. You can use this as a reference, or you can use a reference from the book that you already have, but list down all the chapter. And the next thing that you want to do is there are some chapters that you know, at least you think you know. There are some chapters you think you're not very sure, always confused. Please remember that all these things you've done in your 10th standard, so 10th standard syllabus, 11th standard, not even 11th, 8th, 9th, 10th standard syllabus that you've already done. So you would know the struggle that you had back then. And there'll be some chapters that you know that I had a trouble in this particular chapter back then. For example, triangle, so always painful, in center, circumcenter, uh, centroid. I always get confused in those things. I'm not too sure of those areas, but there will be something that you know I don't know. I remember leaving completely permutations combination. Five people to be seated in five seat. You go sit. Don't talk to me. Okay, I am good. And we completely left a lot of chapters back then. So you have these three things. Um, you don't have to do a detailed analysis. Just get a rough picture as what are we dealing with. Just color code or code it and actually put it there on the paper to see what are we dealing with. And that would be a good starting point. And your job now is to look at the time that you have, and then let's ensure that all those red chapters, let's move it to green. All those orange chapters, let's move to green. Let all those green chapters, let's reinforce and strengthen those chapters once again. So you might have a certain list of I know chapters, a certain list of not sure chapters, a certain list of don't know chapters. What I need to do is take about 3 months time, roughly. I'm saying roughly. Okay, there are a lot of constraints depending upon when the cat is. Now you might have 5 months or 5.5, maybe 6 months before the cat hits you. You might also been studying quite a bit already. You've done quite a lot of things. I'm saying I'm giving a rough estimate in terms of what you can do. Is that take about 3 months. And let's say that what I want to do is I want to move from this don't know, not sure to I know. How much should I know? I mean, reasonably well. Don't aim for perfection. Don't aim to say that I will solve every single question on this topic on this earth. Not possible. The bare minimum that you want to achieve is at least I should be able to do all the level one question, easy question from all the areas. I should be able to do at least about 50% of the medium level questions. Hard question in some topics I'm very comfortable. You can decide which can be your hero areas and which can be an area that you're just going to manage and ensure that I'll at least do the easy ones. At least reach till that particular point, to reach a point of saying that I can at least solve the easy level question. I've understood the concept really well. Now, the time that is required, probably the areas that you know, you'll probably spend about 2 hours per chapter. You may not be spending a lot of time in understanding the concept. You'll solve a few solved examples and then hit and hit practice certain questions, do the level one question. And if there are bits and pieces of stuff that you don't know, you might go back and study those things. That's how you deal with the I know chapters. There could be not short chapters, that may be 4 hours per chapter. You have to spend a little time in the concept. Maybe you have to relearn everything. Maybe you had a wrong understanding of the topic. You probably will have to go back and relook at the whole chapter once again. And then you don't obviously have to start from the scratch. That'll be about 5 hours per chapter. If you, this estimate would be different for different people. I'm not saying this is it. I'm just giving an idea as to what could be the volume of work that you will probably have to do. And this comes out to about 99 hours. If you have 3 months, that's about 90 days. We're looking at 99 hours. 1 hour per day is something that you can dedicate for your preparation. And then you keep a track of your progress. Okay, I've done the concepts, I've done the practice. You can use your book, whatever book that you have, and ensure that you do the level one question, level two questions. You might have some topic wise practice test. I'm saying about 40 questions per chapter should be good enough. That's what I believe. Each questions may take about 3 minutes maybe. So if you're able to do about 40 questions, that's about 120 minutes, that's 2 hours. I'm sure that we are not looking at solving about 1,000 questions per chapter. That don't do all that. Just ensure that I'll do a fair bit of questions, because later on you're going to take the mock test, you're going to take the section test. You can obviously revisit and you will do more number of questions. The first step is to at least get one round of all the chapters and say that at least I've reached a level where I can do the level one questions at least. Now, once you've done one area, let's say you've done arithmetic, now it's a time to reinforce. And what's the best way to reinforce? What does reinforce mean? Reinforce is that okay, I've done this. I want to strengthen this concept really well. The good solution is past actual CAT questions. Now there are past papers available from 1990 till 2008, then from 2017, 2018 and 2019 paper. Total 26 papers are available to you, because there are a couple of 2017, 18, 19 paper has 2 slots, and 2003 paper there was a leak paper and repeat paper. We want to know about past actual CAT question. I had created a video, you can check that out. I'll probably leave a link. You can watch that video. I think that on an average, you have about 200 to 250 questions per area, and you can solve those questions, and that'll be about 12 to 15 hours per area. You might take 20 hours, but what you also see is that a lot of these questions from the past actual CAT papers might be a part of your study material. People do use those past questions as a part of the study material. So I'm saying that just to reinforce, the past actual CAT question should be absolutely good. So once you've done the concept, then the practice in the past CAT papers, I have done, let's say, one round of arithmetic is done. And one of the things that you should remember here is that how do I study? Should I mark formulas, look at formula based learning, which is learn formula for each type of question? Or should I look at shortcuts? Right, when I do this, should I learn shortcuts, learn shortcut for each time, or the good old fashion of understanding based? Let me understand the approach to solve the question. My suggestion would be the last one, understanding based. Now, formula is good. Some of the formula you should use. For example, Pythagoras theorem is something that you should use. Or the formula of successive change, a plus b plus ab by 100, is a useful formula. I'm not saying that formula is completely bad. But searching a formula and mugging the formula and trying to have a list of formula that you'll study and then try and remember all the formula and apply to the question, that's a complete bad way of doing CAT is not that. CAT does not test high funda formulas, anything. This is about application based question. So I would recommend not to have that approach that you probably did in your 10th standard, 11th standard, to look at blindly apply formulas. Also, to talk about shortcuts. Shortcut is also a formula, right? I mean, if you think about it, math is shortcut. Pythagoras theorem is a shortcut. Multiplication is a shortcut for addition. Whatever the shortcut is, at the end of the day, maths. Right. So that's a shorter way to do it, but means that I'm looking at shortcut is also formula based approach. Now, I'm not saying that shortcuts are not useful. one of the things that you should do, that's not shortcut. One of the things that you should do is what I would call jugaad. Jugaad is a better way than shortcut. But shortcut sounds very external. There's a formula that is there. I'm going to look at the formula, apply the formula. Jugaad is from within you, right? So Jugaad is whatever resources that you have, whatever knowledge that you have, how can I look at the question? How do I eliminate options? How do I substitute values and get the answer? Those are good things to learn, and you must learn those things. But my point is, when you are doing the first round of preparation, ensure that you go with an understanding. Understand the approach solve question. For example, let's look at this CAT 2019 question. If 5.55 to the power of x equal to 0.555 to the power of y, that is equal to 1000, then the value of 1 by x minus 1 by y is. Now, you could probably pause the video and try and solve this question. You Let me tell you, you have the knowledge to solve this question. You have it. The formula that is needed to solve, whatever formula, so to speak, needed to solve this question, you already know. But the challenge in CAT, or what CAT is testing, is that can I apply? If I look at the question, can I do problem solving? Okay, what is the first thing that I should look at? How do I approach the particular question? For example, in this case, what I need is eventually 1 by x minus 1 by y. What I have is to the power of x and to the power of y. One of the things that probably is going to your head is there any way I can represent this by 1 by x and 1 by y? And there is probably a way out there with respect to the 1000 being there. Those are the two equations, right? 5.55 to the power of x is 1000, 0.555 to the power of y is 1000. How can I write 1 by x and 1 by y? Yes, you can. If you write 5.55, that's equal to 1000 to the power of 1 by x, and 0.555 would be 1000 to the 1 by y. And how do I get this 1 by x minus 1 by y? If you know the basic fund of indices, that should be enough to answer the question. Let's just divide those two things. If I divide that, you'll get this. And the left hand side is simply 10. And the right hand side is a raised to m divided by a raised to n, that is a raised to m minus n. Then you'll see the left hand side is 10, that will be equal to 1000 to the power of 1 by x minus 1 by y. And what is 1000? 1000 is 10 to the power of 3. That if we can write this as 10 equal to 10 to the power of 3 times 1 by x minus 1 by y. And those powers must be the same. 10 to the power of 1 equal to 10 to the power of 3 into 1 by x minus 1 by y. So therefore, 1 should be equal to 3 times 1 by x minus 1 by y. 1 by x minus 1 by y equal to 1 by 3. That is the answer. Now, the point that I gave you this particular question is not to look at and say that CAT is easy or anything. I'm just saying that the important thing, it's about understanding the approach to solve a question. And that should be a focus, ladies and gentlemen. And that is what should focus. Don't run behind shortcuts. Don't run behind formula. Okay. The more understanding you have, the better jugaad techniques you will only develop. And that's when you start uh, solving, or have the ability to do what is known as problem solving. Most important advice is to do not jump to explanatory answers. When I explain the answer to you, that question becomes very easy for you. But the most important thing, my process of reaching there, my first step, when I look at the question, what should I list down? Every time when you read an explanatory answer, you say, oh, this question is so simple. This question is so simple. But did you learn anything? No, you did not learn much. Anytime you get stuck in a question, and you will be stuck in a question quite a bit of time in your preparation, don't jump to explanatory answers. Remember, it's an opportunity for you to learn, opportunity to develop your skill. Fight with the question as much as you can. And then at the end, if you have no choice, then you look at explanatory answers. Yes, this would mean that you're looking less number, you will solve less number of questions. It is not about solving 1,000 question or 20,000 question, 30,000 question, right? It's all about you developing the skill set of problem solving, and that is going to come in this hard way. It doesn't matter, instead of 40 questions from chapter, you solve those 20 question, but all those 20 questions, you spend time on them, you thought about those questions, you got stuck in that particular question, you went back and thought and thought and thought. There is that one question after 1 hour you solved, and in that 1 hour your mind is thinking, mind is looking at various per concept, various ideas, you're trying various different things, and that learning is tremendous. So explanatory answers, while it is there to help you, it might also turn out to be a problem. So when you get stuck, don't jump. Now once you've do the areas, concepts, practice, and pass CATs at least around one no prep. Section test is what you'll do. Section test is about the entire sections now, and that gives an opportunity to understand which area you still need to work on, which area you are okay, which area you want to be a hero of, and what are the easy better method. And then while doing section tests, you can think about shortcuts and jugaads and other things, right? And that's a good time actually to think about different and the better way to look at any explanatory answer that is given to you. Okay, I have a faster way to solve this particular problem, and there is one problem that I got stuck. Maybe I should go back and solve it once again, whatever that is. So this looks like a rough calendar. So I looked at month one, month two, month three, month four, month five. You start with week one, arithmetic, and PC is pass cat. So you have arithmetic pass cat, and then algebra, pass cat papers, geometry with pass cat paper, numbers with pass cat papers, modern math pass cat paper. And this is just a rough idea. This is not saying that this is what you should do. I'm just giving you a picture in terms of how we can see your schedule. When that is done, you can go to the section test. ST1 is section test 1, ST2 is section test 2, ST3 is section test 3, and so on and so forth, and revise and learn from the section test. Do analysis of the section test and revise. And that would be a decent prep. While that is going on, you're obviously taking the mock test. Please do take the mock test while you're preparing. There's no problem, right? So, for example, on the month one, you took mock one and mock two. You've done a bit of arithmetic and algebra. There is geometry you have not done, numbers you have not done. That's fine. That's fine. All right, that's fine. This mock test also gives you an extra bit of understanding in terms of where you are with respect to others. What are the gap that you have to fill? From whatever you've learned, is that enough? Basically, what is going to happen if you learn arithmetic does not mean that I'm going to solve every single question of arithmetic, right? So please, this is a rough plan of action, and this looks good. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. This is all that I thought I'll share in this particular video. Please do comment if you want me to do any more stuff. I'll be more than happy to do it. Do subscribe to my channel and also share. Thank you and all the best for your preparation. Goodbye.